Rosie O'Donnell is never one to hold back, and her latest confession proves it. The former daytime talk show queen just revealed the guests who made her job a little too hard, including one Hollywood legend who she says was a total challenge to interview. On Sam Pang Tonight, an Australian late-night show, Rosie looked back on her years hosting The Rosie O'Donnell Show, which ran from 1996 to 2002. With her signature honesty and humor, she shared stories from behind the curtain, from awkward interviews to unforgettable moments with some of the biggest stars in the world. When asked about her worst talk show guests, Rosie didn't hesitate. "One of the worst," she said with a laugh, "and I love the guy, but he's not good on talk shows, Keanu Reeves." The audience gasped, and Rosie smiled, knowing exactly how that sounded. "I know," she said. "He's gorgeous, he's sweet, I love all his movies, but he just wouldn't answer a question." And if you've ever seen Keanu in interviews, you might know what she means. The actor's famously soft-spoken, thoughtful, and often short responses don't exactly make for high-energy talk show banter. Rosie recalled the experience vividly. "I'd ask him, 'Do you like Speed? Did you see it? Did you like it?' And he'd just say, 'Yeah, it was great.'" "It's fine," she laughed, shaking her head. "Finally, after like 3 minutes, I said, 'You know, Keanu, it's a talk show. You have to talk.'" Audiences watching the clip could see the moment she realized the conversation wasn't going anywhere, and like any good host, Rosie filled in the blanks, keeping the show afloat with her trademark wit. But before anyone could accuse her of throwing Keanu under the bus, Rosie made sure to clarify her feelings. "He's such a lovely man," she said sincerely. "A good-hearted guy. I just don't think talk shows are his thing." That's the part fans love about Rosie. She'll call it like she sees it, but never without compassion. "He's not a bad guest," she explained. "He's just a quiet one." Still, she admits, it made her job tougher. "When you have someone who won't open up, you're basically interviewing yourself," Rosie joked. "But I still adore him." The host's honesty didn't stop there. Rosie went on to reveal that another guest wasn't quite as easy to love. Actor Tom Selleck Columbine had just happened. Rosie recalled, referring to the tragic 1999 school shooting that shook the nation, and Tom had an ad out at the time that said, "I am the NRA." Rosie said she was deeply affected by the tragedy and felt compelled to confront him about the ad, right there on live television. "I was so torn up about Columbine that I just didn't care," she said bluntly. What followed became one of the most talked about moments in daytime TV history. During the tense interview, Rosie challenged Selleck about the ad and the NRA's stance on gun registration. "We have to register cars," Rosie said on the air. "Why shouldn't we register guns? So that when a crime is committed, we can trace who owned it." Tom tried to explain his position, telling Rosie, "I'm not a spokesman for the NRA. I was a member when I was a kid. I learned firearm safety," but Rosie wasn't letting up, and the exchange turned awkward fast. Still, she stands by her choice to speak up. "I wasn't attacking him," she clarified on Sam Pang Tonight. "I was just emotional, and that issue mattered to me." After the show, though, she realized just how explosive the moment was. "Like an innocent idiot," she laughed. "I walked off stage and said to my staff, 'Do you think that'll get any press?' Of course it did." The interview dominated headlines and remains one of Rosie's most infamous on-air moments. "It's hard to go back to talking about Magnum PI after that," she admitted. Despite the tension, Rosie doesn't regret the conversation. "We were living in an emotional time," she said. And talk shows, for better or worse, reflect the world we're in. But it wasn't all awkward encounters and tense exchanges. Rosie also made sure to name her favorite talk show guest of all time, and this one might surprise you, Barbra Streisand. She said instantly, "No one tops Barbra." Rosie has been open about her lifelong admiration for the legendary singer, calling her an icon who completely changed the landscape of entertainment. "When Barbra walked on my stage, it was like the world stopped," Rosie said. "I could barely breathe. But when it came to pure entertainment value," Rosie said there's one guest who outshines everyone. Comedy legend Martin Short. "Marty Short is the best guest to have on a talk show," she said with a grin. "You come out, say, 'How are you doing, Marty?' and that's it. You're done. He takes over, and you just sit back and enjoy the show." She laughed, imitating the comic's energy. "He stands up, he sings, he dances, he tells stories. It's over for you. You're just there for the ride," Rosie said Marty's charm, and quick wit made every appearance unforgettable. "He's the funniest, kindest, most giving performer I've ever worked with," she said. "He makes your job easy," and that's saying a lot coming from someone who interviewed just about everyone during the height of her talk show's fame. From movie stars to musicians to political figures, Rosie's couch was one of the most sought-after seats in television. But she admits that not every interview went perfectly, and that's okay. "Talk shows are live theater," she said. "You don't get a second take. Sometimes it's magic, sometimes it's mayhem, and sometimes it's just awkward silence." For Rosie, that unpredictability was part of the thrill. "You never know what you're going to get," she said. "You could have a dream guest like Marty Short one day and someone who won't speak the next. But that's the beauty of it." Now, years later, she can look back and laugh about it all. "At the time, those moments felt stressful," Rosie admitted, "but now I see them as part of the fun. They made the show what it was, real." And while Rosie has moved on to other projects, including acting and stand-up, fans still remember The Rosie O'Donnell Show as one of the most authentic and lively talk shows of its time, filled with heart, humor, and honesty. "I loved that show," Rosie said fondly. "Every single day, I got to meet incredible people, make people laugh, and talk about things that mattered to me. I was lucky." Her reflections remind fans why she became a talk show icon in the first place: her ability to mix humor with humanity and candor with compassion. So, while Keanu Reeves may not have been the chattiest guest, Tom Selleck may have sparked controversy, and Barbra Streisand may have left her speechless. Rosie wouldn't change a thing. "They all taught me something," she said. "Every guest, every interview, it all added up to this crazy, beautiful ride." And in true Rosie fashion, she couldn't resist ending on a laugh. "But seriously," she said, "if you ever get Marty Short on your show, just say hi and get out of his way. He'll handle the rest."